They're building a floating city, 14 central parks, in the Red Sea. That crane has no driver. That truck drives itself. The whole port runs on code. They poured 4.6 kilometers of quay wall in 2 years. One team, one deadline. Done. Every ship between Asia and Europe passes this exact spot. Saudi Arabia just built here.
Not a solar farm. A machine turning seawater into the world's next fuel.
100 cranes running daily for 4 straight years. This site never stopped. $500 billion hitting the Red Sea. Let's go inside and see what that built. December 2021. Prince Mohammed bin Salman revealed it. Half on land, half floating in the Red Sea. The 8 sides reduce wave pressure on the floating section. Every angle was calculated. This was Saudi Arabia's tiniest port. It's being rebuilt as the world's most automated. 47 ships on this screen right now. Oxagon wants to be their first stop. Every factory talks to every port. Every port talks to every ship. All automatic, always. 2019, desert. 2025, this, 5 years. The pace is almost impossible to believe. Build a floating city in desert with no water, no workers, no infrastructure. Starting now. That blue section has never been attempted at this scale. Watch what happens next.
Before one pile was driven, teams spent months mapping this seabed. Every reef, every depth.
Coral 1 meter, soft mud the next. Every meter needed a different engineering solution. Belgian and Dutch contractors came by sea. Their heavy plant came with them. Every cubic meter they dredge becomes the ground Oxagon's buildings stand on. Zero waste. Before the dredgers arrived, divers moved coral colonies by hand, every single one relocated.
I'm standing on seabed that was under the Red Sea 3 months ago.
The road came first. Without it, nothing reaches the site. Everything on trucks. Saudi Arabia's smallest port became its busiest construction gateway overnight. No other choice existed. Underground city first. Utilities, water, data buried before anything rises above ground.
Water, power, data in one concrete channel, buried before any wall goes up.
Desert sand can't hold a factory. Every square meter compacted before a single foundation poured. Land prep complete. Now the hard part, 4.6 kilometers of sea wall in 24 months. A quay wall holds back the land. 18 meters of Red Sea on one side. Steel piles driven 20 meters into the Red Sea floor. 4.6 kilometers of them. Anchor piles behind the wall stop it rotating into the sea. Invisible, essential.
18.5 meters of water beneath my hand. Deep enough for the world's largest container ships.
The capping beam ties every pile together. One wrong pour and the whole wall shifts. Low-carbon steel piles, more expensive, non-negotiable. The Red Sea's carbon budget demanded it.
That dredger cuts the seabed. This pipe brings it ashore. This becomes Oxagon's ground.
4 operations, 1 site, 4 different nationalities, 1 24-month clock ticking for all of them. The Red Sea refilled the channel with its own sediment every single week. Change the sequence, work with the tide. Channel held clear. Problem solved. Saudi summer, 45 degrees at noon. Night shifts pour the concrete. Never dark. These bollards hold ships heavier than the Titanic, cast directly into the capping beam. November 2025. Bezaiks announced it. 4.6 kilometers. 7 berths. 2 years. Ahead of schedule. 900 meters of automated terminal. 1.5 million containers a year. 0 crane operators needed. Saudi Arabia's first fully automated port cranes. Already running. already moving real cargo.
Nobody's outside. That crane is real. This whole port runs from this room.
Phase 2, DEME Group. They dredged Palm Jumeirah, now here for the big one.
One Saudi firm, one Egyptian, one Chinese, $1 billion, one terminal, one deadline.
46,000 square meters of warehouse, already operating. One building live while hundreds are being built. Weekly since April 2024, this ship runs from Jeddah to a city still under construction. 18.5 meters. Deeper than most European container ports. The world's biggest ships berth here. Every grain of this came from the seabed below. Zero dumped back, all reused. November 2025, 68% complete. 4 years ago, this was empty desert and a fishing port. Port key done. DEME takes over offshore, building the floating structure's foundation now. Under those factories isn't ground, it's the Red Sea. This entire city section floats. The floating section, 14 central parks. Every square meter of that is Red Sea. Floating. They chose floating because marine life continues under it. The reef stays alive, by design.
I just knocked on this pontoon. It sounds like a ship's hull. It will float.
50 years of Red Sea storms recorded here. Platform designed to survive everyone. Anchors hold the city in place. The platform breathes up and down, never sideways. DEME built Palm Jumeirah, Pearl, Qatar. Now they're here for the biggest one yet.
Quay ends at my feet. Floating city extends hundreds of meters into the sea.
Ships sail through Oxagon on a canal. Land city one side, floating city the other. Every pontoon is pressure tested before it touches the sea. One leak and the city tilts. A 1,000-ton concrete box launched into the Red Sea. One of hundreds being built. GPS guides the tugs. 10 millimeters tolerance. A concrete pontoon in the open Red Sea. Post-tension cables stitch the pontoons together. Under that tension, the joint is unbreakable. Water and power cables flex as the platform breathes. Rigid connections would snap in days. The city built its own wave break. Inside, calm water. Outside, the Red Sea.
I feel the Red Sea through my palm. The platform is moving. On purpose.
The Prelude FLNG was the record holder. Oxagon makes it look like a tugboat. Roads, drains, factory foundations, all sitting on concrete pontoons floating in the Red Sea. Canals cut through the floating city, from factory to port by boat. Already built, the floating port rises from the Red Sea. The power plant behind it, unprecedented. $8.4 billion, 300 square kilometers, the largest green hydrogen plant ever built by humans.
23 banks signed this. 3 continents. $8.4 billion committed. The largest green finance deal ever.
Sunlight and seawater go in. Green fuel comes out. No fossil fuels, no carbon, ever. These are ThyssenKrupp's electrolyzers, 2 gigawatts, the biggest PEM installation on Earth, period. The solar farm changes the local temperature above it, 4 gigawatts, real heat. Each turbine took weeks to assemble. One blade is longer than a jumbo jet wing.
That panel surface burned my hand. In 4 hours, that heat becomes hydrogen. Extraordinary.
4 gigawatts needs its own grid, kilometers of transmission lines across open desert. Those columns turn hydrogen into ammonia. Oil powered the world for 150 years. Not anymore. Hydrogen storage tanks at 700 bars. Every weld X-rayed, every seam pressure tested, every time. Made in Europe, shipped to Saudi without a scratch. The cold box took 6 months. 14 different chemicals flow through those racks simultaneously. Mix one up, entire plant shuts. June 2025. 80% complete. The world's largest green hydrogen plant is almost done being built. "23 banks from 3 continents financed this. The biggest green project finance deal in history. Air Products bought every ton for 30 years before this plant was half built.
Hydrogen in that tank. Port on the horizon. 1 pipe. 0 oil. Full stop.
600 tons daily. 1.2 million tons of ammonia yearly. Shipped from this exact berth. 5 million tons of CO2 avoided every year. More than some nations produce in total. Nobody had run 2 gigawatts of these. The control software was invented here, from scratch. The electrolyzers drink ultra-pure water. They built an entire desalination plant just to feed them. First ammonia, 2027. 2 years of commissioning and risk still stand in the way. Saudi Arabia sold oil for 100 years. This port starts selling what comes next.
Japan sent another delegation. They need to know if green hydrogen actually works commercially.
Baker Hughes compressors squeeze hydrogen to 700 bars. Each unit costs tens of millions. When a cloud blocks the sun, the electrolyzers adjust in seconds. Software does it, automatically. The hydrogen plant is almost done. But a $12.8 billion surprise nobody expected is next. February 2025. $5 billion AI factory campus announced at Oxagon. Nobody on Earth saw that coming. Power, cooling water, open land. Nothing in the Gulf matches Oxagon on all 3. World's first net zero AI factory. $5 billion of compute, cooled by the Red Sea. Red Sea water cools the computers. The discharge is monitored every hour. Reef protection, always.
Right here, the Middle East's most powerful computers. That hydrogen plant powers them.
$12.8 billion in AI data centers at Oxagon. The hydrogen plant powers them, both real. An AI factory isn't a server room. It trains the world's largest AI models. 4,000 Saudi factories wire into Oxagon's AI. This campus is their brain. Building now, the $10 billion DSV logistics deal, announced with fanfare. Still non-operational in 2026. Truth matters. Port, hydrogen, AI, and 90,000 people are supposed to live here. That's different. 90,000 people will live here by 2030. Industrial zones still rising around them. They built a village for the workers building the village. 20,000 people. May 2024.
People live in that building. That crane behind me is building the next one.
Every apartment faces the Red Sea. Facades block 60% of heat. For 45-degree summers. No private cars. Autonomous electric vehicles only. Delivery times down 20% in the first year. Every tap here runs desalinated Red Sea water. Same plant feeds the hydrogen facility. Nothing leaves Oxagon as waste. Every material loops back. Zero landfill. Enforced by contract. The school opened before the city finished. People moved in while walls were still rising. Oxagon built a marine lab to study the reef their construction had to avoid. A cruise terminal too. Industrial port. Hydrogen plant. AI campus. And cruise ships. April 2026. 55% done. 45% remaining. 4 years. Hardest part still ahead.